Hey everyone. So it's at the end of the night, and I had some thoughts that came in my head that I just wanted to share with you. And I wanted to get them down before the end of the night because I've just been ruminating on them today. And I know it's going to be a lot longer than a 1 minute video, so I'm just going to pop this up on YouTube and do that. So, okay, so I've been reading this book. I have it right here. The Garden Within by Dr. Anita Phillips, and she is powerful. So I had not heard her previously. I listened to her on a podcast a couple of weeks ago from a recommendation from some friends, and whew, like that podcast just really hit me, and there was a lot of things just speaking to my heart. So this book was coming out, so I got it, and I've been reading it, and it's really talking about allowing allowing our emotions to flow through us so that we can build a more powerful life. And she talks about the garden within. So a lot of this is about cultivating a garden, and very, very good. I highly recommend it. And then today I was on a training, and Trent Shelton was talking, and he gave this story about when he was little. He was like 8 or 9. He was working with his grandpa, and they were planting a field. And so, they got the field ready. They, got the soil ready, did all the plowing things, and they planted the seeds, and as a little guy, he was ready for those seeds and ready for those plants to grow, right? And so like an hour later, he went and looked, and there's like nothing happening, right? So he went to his grandpa, and he's like, "Grandpa, you did it wrong. Like the plants aren't growing yet." And the moral of the story was, just be patient and give it time, right? The harvest will come. And so these two things just really made me think about success in a different way. And so I wanted to share this with you because maybe this resonates with you as well. So when I think of success initially, it's like, what do I have to achieve? Okay, like I'm here and I have to achieve, I have to get here. And that feels like a big chasm, right? And there's different ways to look at it, but looking at it from this perspective, I think it's really changed the way I can see this happening. So if you think of success as if you're cultivating a garden. So when you have a garden, right, maybe you start with your blank slate. You just have your plot of land, that garden area that you're getting ready to plant. What do you have to do? First of all, you got to figure out what you're going to put there. Are we going to put tomatoes, cucumbers, onions? Are we planting squash this year? Maybe I want some watermelon or cantaloupe. And then we have to figure out where in the garden things are going to go. Well, where would it be best to put the watermelon and the cantaloupe and the cucumbers that are climbing, and prepare the area. And then we've got to prepare the soil. And the soil is so important, right? If you don't have the right soil, if you don't have the right nutrients in the soil, then those plants won't build to their full potential, right? They won't have the harvest that you're expecting of those beautiful tomatoes or whatever it is. And then you have to make sure the water's right, and then you have to plant, and then it's kind of that waiting game, right? And even though you're waiting for the harvest to come, there's still work to be done. You are tending that garden, and I love that word. You're tending to that garden. Are there weeds? Are there things that you need to pull? Are there things that you need to remove from that garden so that it grows and isn't hindered by those weeds? Maybe there's things that you need to add. Maybe the soil needs nitrogen and you need to get that in there. And so it's a process, but it's an active process. And then the harvest comes, and think about it when you plant those tomatoes in the spring, and those plants are little and they grow and grow, and you get that first red tomato, right? And you pick it off the plant and you eat it right there because you were so excited. You finally get to taste the fruit of that work that you've put in for the last couple of months. And then things start to ripen and it builds, right? And then you get to a point where you have an abundance, an overabundance of those tomatoes, and you're giving them away to your neighbors and all your friends. Like, here, take these tomatoes. I can't take anymore. And I really think that is the best way for me to think about success, that I need to cultivate it. I don't need to achieve it. I need to cultivate it because I need to grow it. I need to grow me into the entrepreneur, the business owner that can handle that fruit, right? And that harvest. But it's a progress, right? So you need to plan that business. You start off with a clean slate, and you need to plan, and then you need to prepare. You need to prepare that soil, get it ready. What are the obstacles that are going to come up that maybe you need to remove those weeds? Maybe there's things that you need to infuse into that journey to make it successful. And what I love about this analogy and the way it makes me feel, just feels so much more doable. Instead of like, okay, I'm here and I need to achieve this. Oh man, I've got a lot of work to do. Doesn't it feel so much lighter when you're like, okay, I need to cultivate it. I need to watch it grow. I need to support it as it's going. It feels so much more doable. The other thing I think is it feels inevitable, right? Like, we know when we have a well-tended garden that we're going to get fruit. We're going to get that harvest. We have to be patient, and it may take longer than we expect. But as long as we're continuing to cultivate that garden, then we are going to get that harvest. It's inevitable. And I love that. I think it just lights me up because I can see it now, right? Like, I can see that dream coming because I've cultivated it. I love it. And I hope that is something that maybe resonates with you. So if you're in the thick of it and you're trying to figure out how you're going to make this business grow, maybe you're working on your parenting skills and you're like, oh, how am I going to, handle my 3 kids plus the newborn that's on the way, like all those things. As you're on this journey of life, if you look at those things that you want to succeed in as things that you're going to cultivate, I just feel like it takes a weight off my shoulders, and I hope it does for you. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that flipped a switch, maybe, just change that perspective just enough that, just opened your mind to the possibilities. I hope so. If there's, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you thought, how you're going to use this to maybe move yourself forward in your journey. I would love to hear about it. And then please share this. If this resonated with you, it will resonate with others. So I would love for you to share this and let others kind of have that same little shift for themselves. Please like and subscribe, and we'll talk soon.